Round 1. Fight! That's the most stop motion you're gonna get on my channel. People randomly ask, can you do stop motion? Like it's just something that automatically happens. I don't got time for that.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
I guess I should blame Shartimus Prime for that whole stop motion thing. But if you want to see some good stop motion reviews, you should watch The Lazy Eyebrow or Cardboard Bots. They do stop motion, but as you can tell by the Cardboard Bots, mostly Transformers on both channels. Actually, only Transformers. So it won't be people like these. But anyhow, hello everyone! T-Man 978. Welcome to another chill review. This time it's going to be McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Noob Saibot and Kabal. They both come in boxes like this with their face on it, yada yada yada, nothing about their bios or anything. Just plain yellow, eye-catching in the store. I love the packaging. And they both come with this little stand disc right here. Alright, these figures have pretty similar articulation, so I'm just going to show you the details and I'm just going to touch up on the key points that I think I need to go into individually as far as articulation. But let's start off with Kabal. And let's start off with saying that these are not children's toys. In fact, this one hurts. These blades on his knees right there, sharp. They are crazy, crazy sharp here and here. And I never realized how much, when I'm trying to pose a figure, how much I rely on grabbing different parts. And when you do that, this is pretty much going right into my daggone hand. That almost broke my skin right here. And even this is sharp, and these are sharp as well. So pay attention to how you grab them. And even these spikes down here. So yeah, these both have an incredible amount of improvements as far as the Mortal Kombat McFarlane figures, and I will go as far as to say these are probably the best two, which is unfortunate for me because these are two characters I never play as in the game, but they do look good. I feel like they listened to my review finally, and they improved about everything that I've always been complaining about. You've seen him and all of his details. I don't think you needed me to point out too much. Like, I like the way these hoses attach right there, and they are flexible. This is more flexible than normal. This material right here is very flexible and movable. It's not stiff and rigid. And yeah, if I have one complaint about him in particular, these weapons are made out of a pliable material. This one seems to be okay, but for whatever reason, this one wants to keep warping inward, which is driving me up the wall. He normally has these on his back, and there's no real good way to do that without cheating, like with some double-sided tape or something like that. But let me get into Noob. Noob, I thought would be... Ow. I thought would be just a mostly black character, but he is covered in paint and detail and whatnot. Like the brown right here and the brown on the legs. I don't think I've even noticed that in the game. And I like this gold, like rusty effect that he has going right there in the face. Look at that detail in there. That looks cool. And because of the eyes being whited out, that's another thing with these two. Because of his mask, which isn't really attached to this, and these holes, that goes all the way around and around the back of his neck, which is cool. It's like so many layers. But because of their eyes or their face mask, you don't have to worry about them having a goofy expression. This is what he looked like all the time. I don't even know if he ever showed pain. Yeah, he does show pain when they do the x-ray moves and fatalities. Sometimes his mask will be gone and you'll see his expression. But Look at that. So many layers of rubbery material, and you see that oozy effect? Oh, yeah, that is nice. And look at the detail on that. So, yeah, that looks like under there. I didn't even know that had a peg in it, and I didn't lift this up. Let's see if I can. I can't really lift that up, not without tearing. But that's what the back of his material looks like, and you see that? But let's get into the articulation improvements. I'm going to start from the bottom, which is unusual, but they have ratcheted toes. Bruh, that's something I suggested with like the first Fortnite figure that I ever picked up. The ankles are on like a ratchet system, like normal, and it's a universal ball joint under there. But this material right there is very soft, so it gets right out of the way. You'll probably see it better on this one right here. You'd be thinking like, oh, that cuff is just gonna get in the way with like when you have a figure like a Marvel Legends, but boom, it moves right with it. And if you rotate the universal joint, look at that. You don't have to even worry about anything. I mean, if it wasn't there, it probably would go higher than that, but do you even really need it to go higher than that? But both of them have above the knee thigh swivel, I guess, or above the knee swivel. So that replaces the thigh swivel that you know still sucks on the McFarlane figures. Like, I could barely move that. That's stiff. So this above the knee works for certain poses you want, and he can even cross his legs. Of course, they have the double jointed knees right there. Now, one thing for this figure in particular that I'm going to mention, you may have noticed, but the paint is wearing at the points where my fingers keep touching. So you do have to worry about that. So those main two improvements are this right here, the ratchets in the toe, which both of them actually have. I don't think I've ever experienced that in any other McFarlane figure. The above the knee, love that. And the torso articulation because of the materials. Like, you would be thinking these hoses would get in the way, but no, you can still rotate them left and right as much as a human can actually do that, or a humanoid person. And then the ab crunch, even though he has this protrusion right there, you could rotate him at the lower waist to get that out of the way. And then he crunches forward a lot more than your typical Mortal Kombat person, and goes back a lot. It goes to the side a lot. Those hoses do not get in the way. So if you want to get the best ab crunch, make sure that this armor goes underneath of his little tunic around his waist. So that's good. I didn't show the forward mobility right here on him. So there's that. And of course, you can do a split. But on my figure, this top knee is loose. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be every figure, so that does aggravate me. Of course, they still have the ball socket. That is very stiff. I wish there was a lot more range on that. I think there is on Noob. Noob sculpting is different, but I'll show this off because he does have that as well. And here's his torso. You can go back that much, about as much as you need on a person. And his comes back with little resistance because he doesn't have that skirt thing. So his comes forward a lot more and goes side to side and side twists and all that. As far as the necks, they are both on double ball posts. There is no post at the base of the neck. Him, he comes forward about that much, goes back. He doesn't seem to go back as much as Kabal, so it doesn't really look like he's looking up that high. You get the side tilts and whatnot, and of course rotate. But Kabal, he can look forward, and if you move this hair because of the way it's sculpted, move that back and over this hose thing, he can look up significantly. Especially that's really good for running poses and whatnot. So, at the end of the day, really, the only thing that I still want for these are $20 action figures. This is a lot. And these are big, substantial figures. I just wish they released them all as a deluxe or made a deluxe version. Why I want them to make a deluxe version? Because I want extra hands. Now with Noob, you see his hand gestures? Like, I can put his hands like that and they look like martial art poses or whatever. But I would still like some extra fists. However much it would cost to give us 2 extra fists and some definite martial art gestury hands, plus the weapons and whatnot. If that could be in the $25 range like they have for some of these figures, I will pay that for the extra hand options. Now for Kabal, his hands definitely look like just gripping hands. I mean, you can try to like fake it out if you get like really creative or whatever. But I wish they came with fists. It's a fighting game universe and they do punch each other. So that would be nice. Now some of them do come with extra hands. So I don't want to complain too much. Like Liu Kang came with extra hands. So maybe these things are overly more elaborate so they couldn't do it. But whatever. That's going to be my last like little nitpick. The improvements to the articulation and movement, I love that. I super appreciate that. I hope it gets better in the future. But and the only thing that these can need to do as far as articulation to be better is like things like a definite better neck. Maybe a ball at the base of the neck would have been nice. But outside of that, I really like these. These two are the best ones to me so far. Here's what they look like next to each other. Kabal is a little bit taller. Here are a couple of 6-inch action figures. McFarlane are 7-inch if you didn't know. Here's a McFarlane Warhammer Battle Sister. McFarlane DC Multiverse Flash and DC Collectibles Robin right there. My highest viewed chill review so far to date, McFarlane Scorpion, who didn't have any of those improvements. Like, I could see the breakup, but I explain all that in his review. And Johnny Cage, who is the biggest freaking McFarlane Mortal Kombat 11 figure for some reason. And here's a McFarlane Toys Fortnite dude, and Vendetta, and Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 3. And even they don't have the ratchets in the toe, it's all friction. But yeah, that's how they stack up. You can see that they all can mix and match. But anywho, because they're all 7-inch. But I like them. If you like them, I have an Amazon associate link in the description for where you can find them. Hopefully they're still in stock. Typically, McFarlane Toys isn't like Hasbro. They come back in stock great. If you see it for too much, if it's over $19.99, come back another time or look down the bottom to see if there are other payment options. But anyway, thank you for watching us. Until next time. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click the